What's going on, guys? It's your average consumer, and today we've got a special unboxing of the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip. Now, whether you like it or not, foldable phones are here now, and this is the first one that I've actually gotten my hands on. So today we're gonna do a quick unboxing, see what you get inside, and we'll see what the whole foldable phone thing's all about. So we've got a pretty standard Samsung box here, black box that you can take this thing off. But as you can see, we've got the little Z in the front. Now it's pretty interesting that they went with Z. The shape of the phone doesn't exactly make a Z. Maybe if you put like two of them together, but either way. So we've got the flip up top. Yeah, we've got our paperwork, some ejector tool here in the back. Oh, I didn't know this had that. So inside of here is actually a case. So it's clear, it's got that black at the bottom. I believe we got the mirror black. And it also has a cutout. So the phone has a screen up top. Okay, so we do have the quick start guide and some pamphlets over here. So that was included, but the case, that's surprising. So what's interesting here, guys, this is it. And obviously it comes in flat, just like a regular smartphone. But what's interesting about this device is that it has care instructions. Now, you can't treat these devices like you would any old smartphone, which is just a slab of metal and glass. These foldable phones have like folding components and things that you're gonna wanna look out for so that you don't damage the device. And because this thing is foldable, it isn't water or dust resistant. And this one's actually pretty interesting. It says, do not attach adhesives such as films or stickers on the main screen. So screen protectors are out. Don't even try it. It'll of course cause some damage if you have it in there and you got it folding and everything like that. Now, because this is a folding device, it's important to take note of these instructions. We saw what happened with the Galaxy Fold when people did all kinds of stuff to it. Things happen, damage the phone. You wanna be super careful with these things. But this looks really interesting so far. Let's just go through the rest of the box real quick. We have our wall adapter, as well as a USB-C adapter. So USB-C to type A, USB-C to type A cable, a USB type C AKG in earbuds. This is all the accessories that come inside of the box. I guess we should get started with turning this guy on. But of course we gotta peel the plastic. And it's so crazy, this is two-sided because it has two sides. So boom, there you go. And man, that crease is real. That crease is real, y'all. But you can see it already, but it makes sense. It has to fold, so it has a crease, but man. So we've got your front-facing camera over here, your two 12-megapixel cameras in the back. We've got a regular wide angle and an ultra wide. So I think Samsung made the right choice here by adding the ultra wide. That's the one that we need when you only put two lenses. And on the side right here, we have the power button, which also includes a fingerprint scanner, and the volume controls right over here. And over here on the left side is where you have your SIM card slot. So that's pretty much it. Speaker at the bottom, USB Type-C charging port at the bottom as well. And it's interesting, you've got these little rubber stops right here at the bottom of the screen so that when you actually close it, let's close it for the first time. It's nice and safe. You keep the parts that are touching, it's nice and separate. And this is it. Nice, small device. This feels really good in the hand. This feels like a premium device. Go ahead, Jay, hold on to it.
It's comfy.
Carl? Carl don't got no opinion. He's like, I don't know what to say here. But no, it doesn't feel cheap or anything. It feels pretty solid. Let's turn it on. That's what really matters. Boom. That crease, it's pretty unavoidable. And I mean, if you're getting this phone, you kind of have to expect it. But yeah, I just want to see how it's going to feel to just use the device while also feeling that bump or that crease in the middle. Like, is that going to be something that's annoying? Is it going to be something that you just get used to? Typically, when you have a device that has some weird quirk or quality, you kind of get used to it. So I feel like this might not be a big deal down the line. But real quick, let's talk about the specs. This guy's rocking a Snapdragon 855 Plus processor, 8 gigs of RAM, as well as 256 gigs of storage. So in terms of the specs, this thing's got some power to it. Maybe not 2020 standards like what we saw with the S20, but definitely good enough for a device coming from 2019. This thing costs $1,380, so almost $1,400. Maybe not the numbers we'll see down the line in future flagships in 2020, but definitely solid specs for sure. And the other spec that we've got to talk about is the battery. This thing is rocking a 3,300 milliamp hour battery, which isn't that big by today's standards, but it's definitely better than like the Motorola phone that just came out. So Hopefully it lasts throughout the day, but we'll find out that in a real day in the life. All right, so I'm gonna set this thing up because I got my time with it before, but actually using it in the hand, it doesn't feel bad. But take a look at this, guys. You see these bezels that are on the side? You'll notice that there's a bit of a lip. Let's say you're typing or even backspacing or doing anything over here, you definitely feel these edges on the sides. Now, it's not that big a deal. If you're used to using maybe bulky cases, you might be used to it. But because this is such a narrow screen and having the keyboard all right here, you do bump into these a bit more than I've ever felt on even phones with a case. So that might take some getting used to. Okay, so we are all set up and good to go. Now, like I said, this thing has a pretty narrow display, but it's not bad. It actually has a second display right here at the top. Now, this one is a pretty small screen and it'll probably just give you like some notifications and things of that nature. So you guys can see there, I just signed in on this phone. So you can see I got a security alert, but it's interesting because you can actually, I believe if you double tap, you can actually access the front, well, not front facing camera, the rear cameras, and get a little screen of yourself, take a photo. How do you do this? Do you take it with the volume controls? There we go. What is nice though, is that let's say you are using the camera and then you open the phone, it'll continue the action. So you'll jump right into it. And it's actually pretty interesting because Samsung introduced some different modes for when the phone is slightly bent. So as you guys can see here, the camera kind of goes all the way to this top portion and then you just have your controls at the bottom. So if you're, I don't know, trying to take a selfie or something, you can see exactly what you're getting. I don't know, guys, but it's available. I like the idea of different apps being able to do different things with the slight bend, but it's going to be interesting to see how this kind of thing evolves and how many people and developers adapt to it. But I really quickly want to put on the case that's inside. And you do have these little rubber stops to make sure that it doesn't slide off. And great, now we're not gonna get anything sliding off. Throw it in your pocket. Doesn't add a lot of bulk. I like this. And when you're ready to just take a call or something, see, that's the thing, guys. If you know flip phones and you've used them in the past, you're still used to that one-handed kind of flip open, but this thing takes extra effort. And that's because those features that I was talking about when the phone is slightly bent. Samsung makes it so that the phone can stand upright, so that when you're using those features, the phone isn't just falling flat while you're trying to do it. That would get really annoying. But for those people who are just used to that flip, it's not that easy. But if, I don't know, maybe if you give it a little, if you remember that move too, that used to be the move, you go, so if you open it with a little oomph, you can get the job done. But I don't know how that's gonna impact the hinge. I do not recommend doing that, I don't. But what's really important is the closing action. So I'm gonna give Carl a call real quick. Yo. That wasn't as smooth though. Still somewhat satisfying though, I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, you wanna get off the phone, you wanna hang up on somebody, you can still do the motion, but that hinge is gonna slow you down, man. I don't know if it's gonna have the impact that it used to. Before, you could almost hear that, that anger. But you know, now it's like a poop. Either way, this is gonna be a very interesting device to try out. I am stoked. If you guys wanna see any kind of videos, let me know with a comment down below on what exactly you want me to cover. But till next video, guys, if you enjoyed it, be the cool guy or girl that gives it a thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Till then, it's your average consumer. Peace. I'm gonna call somebody just to hang up on them.